Hey folks, welcome. Here we discuss real stories by real people. Today we have the story of a man who finds out about his fiance's infidelity and pregnancy. Let's see how it goes. Story 1. I, 26 male, recently found out that my spouse, 25 female, has been sleeping with a guy she works with for several months now. We've not quite been engaged a year, but have been together about 3 years total. A mutual friend spotted her with him at a hotel and told me about it. She had told me that one of her friends was sick and that she was staying the weekend with her to help out. It was bad enough that she was cheating on me for who knows how long, but to make matters even worse, she was pregnant when she got caught. When I confronted her about it, she denied it at first. But when I pressed her on it and let her know that my friend had even sent me pictures of them at the hotel, she went crazy. She completely flipped the switch. She admitted to the affair but started blaming everything on me. I was such a horrible husband that I forced her to cheat, blah blah. She was screaming insults at me as if she was expecting me to apologize to her. I was over it. I couldn't be with someone that could ever do something like this. I told her that if I was such a terrible husband, I'm sure she wouldn't miss me. I then grabbed my bags that I had packed before she got home and left. Over the next couple of months, we stayed in contact about the pregnancy and the baby, but any hope that may have remained about us working things out ended completely when her coworker moved in with her. She had obviously made her choice, and that was fine with me. He could have her. My only concern now was the baby, but I was having doubts about whether or not the baby was really even mine. Since she was having the affair while she was pregnant, it wasn't unreasonable to assume that this was or could have been happening beforehand as well. She was very evasive about the timeline of everything. Once the baby arrived, I immediately asked for a paternity test. She threw a fit about it. She insisted that nothing had happened during that time and that she was absolutely positive that I was the father. She acted offended that I would ever even question it. Went completely nuts and made a huge scene in the hospital. She was protesting so much that her boyfriend finally insisted on the test too. That seemed to shake her up. They argued about it some until eventually she agreed. She definitely wasn't happy about it though, that much was very obvious. I'll update once I get the results in a couple of weeks. Well, I got the paternity test results. The three of us went in together to hear the report. When we heard the results, the entire room went completely silent. After an awkward few seconds, she burst into tears. Turns out neither me or her boyfriend is the father. So there's apparently a third guy involved somehow that neither one of us knew about. I just shook my head and left them to fight it out. Not sure what's gonna happen now with her and her boyfriend, but I'm just relieved that I won't be tied to her and all her crazy for the next 18 years. Better him than me. Last update. Got a hysterical call from her last night. She and her boyfriend had it out, and he left her after we got the results. It turns out that the actual father was just some drunken hookup she had, and he completely ghosted her after. She doesn't even know his last name. Without someone to help with the rent and utilities, she lost the apartment. Her family's barely speaking to her, and she's currently crashing with one of the few friends she has left after all of this. She kept apologizing and begging me for another chance. Said that she realizes now that she made huge mistakes and that she knows I would be a good father and we could work it all out. I said thanks, but no thanks. I feel bad for the kid, but there's no way I'm getting sucked back into that mess. You dodged a bullet with your ex-fiancée, OP. She sounds like a train wreck. She cheated on you, and when you found out, the best she could come up with was blaming everything on you. You didn't make her cheat. If you were being such a bad partner, then she should have talked it out with you or ended things with you if you showed no signs of changing. But instead, she decided to cheat on you. That's on her. I'm sorry the kid isn't yours. I'm glad you were smart enough to do a test. There's absolutely no way you would go back to her regardless of how much she begs now. The best thing you can do for yourself is separate from her and cut her out of your life. I also wish the kid well, but he's no responsibility. Story 2. Sunday, the movers gave a window of 11 to 1 o'clock of when they would be by the house to get her things, so she came over at 11 o'clock and waited with me for them. By the time they showed up at 1:30, we were deep in a discussion about our relationship and what happened. When she first got there, she was ignoring me, even though I was trying to be pleasant and make small talk, since it felt awkward to sit there and stare away from each other. Finally, I asked her, "Are you mad at me? Do you hate me or something?" She thought about it for a second and said yes. "I hate you for doing this to us. I hate you for trying to make this relationship work after finding out. I hate you for letting me move in. I hate you for refusing to go to counseling to work this out." I just kind of looked at her for a minute and processed what she had just told me. I didn't want to start an argument, but I couldn't help myself. I just had to say something, so I asked her as gently as possible, "Do you not see your own hand in this situation?" She looked at me, and I could tell she was really thinking it out. Then she said, "I apologized long ago for that and many times since. I'm done apologizing." Then she dove into telling me how sad she's been and how much she's hurting, etc. Not long after, the movers showed up and we had to end the conversation. They had her things loaded in about 45 minutes and then she left with them. Yesterday, Monday, she asked me if I could help her hang her TV on the wall at her apartment and also assemble her bed, and I said sure. I came over after work with my tools and a level and got to work. She also had me hang a few pictures and some artwork. At the end, as I was packing up to go, she just broke down, just sobbing hysterically. I grabbed her and hugged her and stroked her head. I think I held her like that for a couple minutes until I kissed her. She kissed me back and we kissed a few times while holding each other. I immediately knew it was a mistake. I let her go and we sat down and she started babbling about how now that she didn't live with me that I could heal. She would live there in her apartment and I would heal with her gone. That we must have moved in together too soon, alluding to us continuing to date or something. That she can't imagine a life without me and can't imagine anyone else with me. That she's still deeply in love with me and never wants anyone else, and that she's hurting so bad and doesn't know how to make it stop. I told her I didn't think that was a good idea and left. Later last night, I was concerned I hadn't been clear enough, so I texted her, "I'm sorry I kissed you. It just kind of happened, but I don't want to try and work this out. I don't want to lead you on." She asked if we could talk when she comes to get her cats on Wednesday, and I said of course, but that I'm not going to try to reconcile with her. She seems to accept that, but we'll see. This is tearing me up and it hurts so bad. I've come so close to giving in so many times. I just need to keep my shit together for one more day and then go no contact with her. It kills me to do that with her hurting so badly, but I think that it's the only way either of us will be able to move on and heal. And I want her to heal. I want her to be happy. It just can't be with me anymore, and I'm trying to remember that this isn't in any way my fault. I realized when I kissed her last night that my feelings are going away for her some, so that is good. What is really affecting me is seeing the pain I'm causing her. And it hasn't helped assuage my guilty feelings that I didn't have a choice in doing this to her. Watching her suffer has been horrible though. Just gut-wrenching. It almost makes me never want a relationship again, knowing I may have to hurt someone like this again someday. You need to stop hanging on to whatever you two had, OP. It has ended. You want it to end too, so just let it. I understand that you want to be civil and all, but you have to stop trying to play her friend. It's still way too early for that. You need to heal first, and when you're done and you still feel like being her friend, then go for it, but not now. You didn't cause her to suffer. It's not on you. Her actions have consequences. She's just going through them now. After she gets her cat tomorrow, go no contact and start your healing journey. Good luck, OP. Now for some comments. About a year after I left my ex-wife, I was still feeling I had made a huge mistake. I won't go into details, but I accidentally had sex with her, and then we went out a few times over a 2-week period. I was shocked to realize I actually didn't have any feelings for her. In fact, I couldn't even figure out why I had married her in the first place, as I didn't really like her. Give it time. Either work it out, are your feelings going away somewhat? Love is not a feeling. It's really not. It's an action. Something you do even when you don't feel like it. Or go no contact and see, so you can both heal and truly move on. Staying in contact just to be nice, to help her hang a TV, to help with whatever will be the little thing she holds onto as hope. Hope for another chance. If you've made up your mind, do yourself and her the kindest favor and let her go. Stay and see and move on. Good luck. To be honest, you should just give her the cats and kindly show her the door. Neither of you is going to gain anything but more pain by sitting through another talk. You've made your mind up. You aren't going to reconcile, and she'll be sitting wherever she is right this minute, hoping she can change your mind when she collects the cats. When she arrives, tell her that you've thought about the fact that she wants to talk, and you know the outcome will be the same as it was in the last text you sent. You don't want to reconcile, so to save you both the pain of coming to the same conclusion after hours of talking, you have nothing left to say to her. Tell her outright that you don't have feelings for her, and the only feelings you do have is that of guilt for not cutting her out sooner. Stop leading her on. You gave her guilt and comfort kisses, nothing more. Why don't you take the cats to her? Tell her you have plans with Buddy so can't stay, then go no contact.